Hype, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to Super Geek Stream. I'm Mauro, and this is my co-host,
The bird guy.
Josh.
The Death Star.
Don't be confused with the Death Star. So
That's
this week's
no
episode, we are talking about Game of Thrones. Just had its season finale. Sorry, not series finale. That would scare everyone. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we'll be talking about the season finale. Obviously, before the season finale premiered, I really expected it just to be the standard. Okay, well, we're gonna put everyone where they need to be for next season. Nothing really moving the plot forward, but man, did they change.
And honestly, that was season 5. Season 5, they were just like putting everybody in place.
I think the entirety of season 5 was basically one big, like, trying to get people to be where they needed to be.
And honestly, people were like kind of mad at me because they said that I said that season 5 was probably the most boring one. It was good. It was just the most boring one out of all of them.
I'm inclined to agree with you, and I also don't understand why you would generate so much hate. Like, obviously, just one season has to be the worst, right? Like, you can have, The Godfather has The Godfather 3, right? It's just the worst of them.
But it's not bad. That's the thing. Like, okay, it's bad, but
maybe I chose a poor example in The Godfather 3, but you're right. Season 5 is good.
Decent.
It's but
it's entertaining. It has actions, boobs.
Definitely the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the worst one out of all.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad season 1 is the worst one in my opinion. The worst season at all, and everything else is perfect. And that's an example of this too.
Okay, so let's start just going down the list, right?
Yeah.
So first, obviously, Cersei went and went Heisenberg basically on that Gran Sparrow on Margaery.
I am the danger.
Exactly. So, man, what was your reaction to that?
I think Cersei is she's sick in the head. Like in the books. People say in the books that she's always... Man, I sound like a book vegan. In the books...
Yeah, the books.
They say
We're talking about the show, Josh.
I know, right? And in the books, they make it seem like she has a sickness. Like she's mentally ill. And now she finally broke that point where you literally think that there's something wrong with Cersei, right? And Cersei is always saying that she loves her children. She loves her children. She loves her children. And I told my sister, yes, she loves her children, but does she love herself more than her children? Because... it's prophesied that both their kids were going to die, right?
Three kids.
3 kids were going to die. But it was also prophesied that she was going to die.
Yes. So
my thing is, does Cersei love herself more than she loves her kids? And I have to say she does.
Obviously the fan theory is that Jaime is probably the one that's going to be killing her. So that's actually an interesting discussion, possibly a twist, where it turns out just she is her own undoing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, seems kind of cool, right?
12
actually,
style.
Exactly, right? Looper.
Yeah.
I
recently saw that movie.
It's a great movie. The thing I feel about Cersei is that, when you draw parallels to Targaryen, the Mad King.
She has all of them.
Yeah, she has all of them, which is interesting in that maybe the idea isn't that...
including intelligence, because she's smart.
Yeah, well, maybe the idea is not that he literally went mad because of craziness or witchcraft, or maybe it's just that power and the desire to maintain power, to maintain prestige, to have people who challenge you for that, and then you have to show them, how powerful you are. It's all parallels, and I think that's what this episode was really about. This season was about drawing parallels. Mm-hmm. And so you have Cersei basically says, you know what? I mean, I like my kid, but fuck it. No one's going to come into my house and do these things to me. And I'm going to show them. Yeah. And I will say that scene where she is just like walking down that hallway to take the crown was just perfect.
Powerful. Like,
she looked like, yeah, you know what? I'm done with this whole trying to be like, oh, I'm the wife and
the mother.
Backstabbing and, the mother and work the throne from, fuck it. I am just going to be the queen. And I'd like you to say something about it because I just killed a fucking 1,000 people.
Yeah, do something.
Yeah, do something about it. Exactly.
I
got my fucking dress that I custom made to look like Katniss Everdeen. Like, I am taking this shit and we're going for it.
And the two things that I want, what's that saying? Absolute power
corrupts absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So that's the parallel that's the thing that they're trying to say there.
Yeah.
Also, my sister made a great point is that she no longer has anything holding her back anymore.
Yeah, she's lost just about everything.
She has nothing that she loves because she says love is a weakness, right?
Yeah.
And her weakness is that little bit made her good.
Yeah,
that's gone.
Because Jaime says that, you know, he feels that she truly loves her children. Yeah. And now that is absent.
Yeah.
Like, she has just decided, I mean, I guess you can't really predict that, what's his name, Tommen is going to just fucking, you know, Birdman it out the window, right? But yeah, you know, that was a really good, you know, exit for him.
And you know, the actor, I know it's not much to jump out of a window, but he executed that. So
I love the going off the screen. I love going off the screen because
like, what the hell's he doing?
Because at least you're like, what's he doing? Then he took off his crown because he
did you know what he was gonna do?
I guessed at it.
But you kind of started guessing when he went off the screen, right?
I guessed it. I knew Cersei was going to kill them, like kill the High Sparrow, kill Margaery, and obviously, at that point, what do you have?
Yeah.
You're the king. You can't stop a priest. You can't stop your mom.
Yeah.
You can't see your wife. No one takes you seriously, right? Well, you try to do one thing, and it's like the opposite happens. So he's just like...
Honestly, it's his fault. It's his fault.
He's a 13-year-old kid.
I know, and that's the thing. It's his fault. Like, he's 13. He's 13.
Yeah, you're right.
He's 13 years old, and like for him to like make the decision, like, oh, I have to do this, right? But he has to make the decision anyways, and it's hard for a 13-year-old to make that decision.
I think he was just like, you know what, fuck it, Bob.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, you plan on having me. You think that this is going to be like the thing that controls me. Fuck it, I'm not signing off for this.
Yeah.
And then he takes off his crown because he's like, you know what, I don't deserve to be a king.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go out an angsty teenager.
That's what it meant. Like, I can't be king. I can't even control my own mother. I can't save my wife. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm done.
And and
peace.
They give clues to this the whole season. The whole season they give clues. That
well, the other parallel, right, is what's his name, Bran, is thrown out a window by Jaime's action.
Exactly.
So Tommen jumps out of a window
and
because of...
And George R. R. Martin does this the whole season. In season 1, we're not going to go through all the parallels that happen or whatever. What were we saying? It's parallel, right?
Parallels, yeah.
Yeah, like in season 1, Ned Stark cuts somebody's heads off when they're telling the truth, right? And at the end of season 1, Ned Stark gets his head off for telling the truth.
It's episode 6, actually.
Yeah.
So it's not even the full season, yeah.
Oh, that he gets his head cut off?
Yeah, I believe it's like the end of season, episode 5.
You need to calm down. Anyways,
just like killing people.
Next one, what's the next one?
Alright, so Jon Snow and Sansa, the big reveal is obviously that Sansa gets to sleep in her dead parents' master bedroom.
That's it.
That's basically all that happened to that scene. You know, I like that they're establishing that Jon is finally kind of recognizing that, you know what, the honorable way, the prideful way, yeah, that shit just doesn't work. It's already almost killed him. It literally killed him one time, and it's almost killed him several other times.
Yeah. And the thing is that he never learned. Like, finally he learned. Like, I think the season is a year or maybe 2 each season. 1 or 2 years each season.
Well, time. We'll talk later with the various, but yeah, I mean. Yeah, time is like almost irrelevant in the show.
So he's had years to try to understand this. Almost, I would guess, like 5 years have gone by because Bran is so big, and yet he hasn't grasped it fully until now.
Until now, he's like, man, you know, I would have died had my sister just completely disregarded what I said, gotten this guy who's a piece of shit to basically bail us out.
Yeah,
and now I'm gonna take that piece of shit. Yeah. I'm going to thank that piece of shit by ruining his plans of becoming the king of the North.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so...
And the thing is that Sansa was the biggest idiot out of all of them. She was the biggest moron.
Again, she is a kid,
No.
But
And so was Jon Snow. So Jon Snow was pretty much kind of the same age as her. And maybe like 1 or 2 years older, which yes, in Game of Thrones, that's a lot. It makes a big difference in the world of Westeros. And I love that they finally came together and they said we need to trust each other because there's so many people that want to kill us. There's so many people who are after us. If we're gonna get through this, we have to trust each other.
Yeah.
And I love that she gave the middle finger to Littlefinger as well.
Yeah, basically. You know, and that's a really interesting scene. Like that, I think is one of those setup scenes because obviously Littlefinger is just not gonna roll over and die.
No.
He still has machinations. He still has aspirations of becoming the king of not the North,
the entire world.
of Westeros, of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that plays out next season.
And I say the entire world because if you're king of Westeros, you're pretty much king of everything. You control everything.
Yeah, true.
And it's kind of like being the president here. Unfortunately, you control everything.
Well, that's a little nationalist, but
no.
fine.
I'm not for that at all. Anyway.
All right, let's get on to another Stark, Arya, and her little bit of deception there.
She had like a 5-minute scene, and it was the greatest scene in the entire movie. Well, no, arguably the second greatest because we'll get to the greatest scene in my opinion.
Okay, I personally think Cersei's just. That scene where the Gran Sparrow looks down and he's like, "What's happening?" and then he is engulfed in flames. I'm gonna say that's the best scene.
Oh yeah.
Arya feeding a man his own kids is also pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You know, and the weird thing about Arya is like, I guess in season 1, 2, 3, you were kind of like rooting for her.
Straightforward.
Well, you were kind of rooting for her because you were like, oh, she's like the plucky underdog, right? She's like she's not very good looking.
Not only that, but she's a rebel.
Yeah, she's rebelling and she's learning how to sword fight. Oh, she killed that one guy with the hound.
Yeah.
Kills the person who robs them or whatever. Yeah. And you figure like, okay, she's getting a little dark. Holy shit, she went like
full
fucking Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah, darkness. Like killing 2 people, baking them into a pie, and then having an old man eat it.
Yeah.
And
And according to Bran, that is unforgivable from the gods to kill somebody in their own while they're eating and they're dying.
Well, I think again, that was the issue with Ned and all the Starks is that they were always like abiding by these traditions and stuff like that.
And it got him nowhere. It got him his head cut off. That's what it got him.
Yeah. And so I mean, maybe it's time to not play it so straight, right?
All of them didn't learn. Rob didn't learn. All the Starks that died did not learn. Caitlyn didn't learn that either.
Yeah.
And the fact is that in Westeros is kill or be killed, unfortunately. So
or bake and be baked. So yeah. Now we're going to talk about, or we'll move on to Daenerys.
So
I'm assuming that this is what you mean by...
No.
Still not the best thing. Okay, well, now I'm on.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that Dany is taking Tyrion seriously, finally.
And that was kind of established in the 9th episode, where I was fully expecting her to arrive to Meereen and then basically be like, you fucked this up. Guess what? You're now dead. You're not dragon food. Exactly. He thought he was gonna die because he was like backtracking. He was like, "Wait, well, we can come up with plan B. Like, just give me a second here." Yeah. And she was like, "You know what? No, because you actually did do something.
Well,
and this attack, it was probably bound to happen, and you probably delayed it for as long as possible."
Showing her maturity.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, stop. What the fuck was